Hey everyone, welcome back. This is video 2 of our wind chimes. So we're going to be doing our micros today. I'm going to show you how to go from some slabs that I have and then also how to make a slab of your own. Okay, so I know that most of you have just 2 different cookie cutter designs for your micros, but if you do, I would like you to only take one at a time in case somebody else needs the other one. Okay, and then once you've done those 2, then you can go and find your second one and do those 2. Okay, so make sure you're only taking one cookie cutter at a time, just to make sure everyone gets what they need. So the other thing is, I know you guys, some of you also are using just simple shapes to do things like draw into them or whatever. So those are available as well if you need them. I think I have a lot of circles, so if you take a circle and you take something else, that's not a big deal. Okay, I do have some pieces of reclaimed, what we call it. So it's from like a previous project, and we are reusing it towards this project. So a lot of people had extra clay from their macro, and I saved it so that we can make micros from it. Now, obviously, this size is not big enough for like a cloud, but it could be big enough for a lightning bolt. So you need to get just a couple pieces to start with. Don't get a lot of clay, and it's going to sit out there and it's going to dry. So you're going to get a couple pieces of flat slab clay. These are rolled as flat as they need to be. These are controlled and already rolled. Okay, so you don't need to roll those with a rolling pin. However, this one is not. It's in a cube. So you're going to have to cube it a little bit, and then you're going to have to roll it yourself. I'm going to demonstrate how to do that just a little bit. So first things first, I have 2 pieces already. Grab 2 pieces from the tray, and now I have maybe my lightning bolt. Okay, so I know I can fit that, so I'm going to do that first. Okay, and I'm going to press down, and then I'm going to take all this extra scrap clay around it. Now, if it's like this, and you're not able to cut another cookie cutter out of it, squish it up, put a little water from your spray bottle, or if I've given you a cup, go for your cup, okay, and then squeeze it back into a ball for me. Okay, don't let it just sit there and get dried out. Squeeze it back into a ball, set it in the corner, just leave it go. If you need it later, you can use it. If not, we'll just, again, reclaim it towards another project. All right, so I have my lightning bolt. I'm going to take it out of the cookie cutter, and I'm going to maybe clean it up just a little bit with some water because it's got maybe some rough edges. Maybe it pulled a little bit while you were taking it off of there. All right, and it's basically ready to go. Maybe I want to add, some extra lines or something. I could. That would be fine to give a little bit more like emphasis and maybe a little bit more action to it. I don't have to though. Okay, it can just literally look like this. And then the second step is you have to put a hole in every single one of your micros. Now I will go around and check them after, but I need you guys to do this part. So you're going to I would take the skewer. You could use the needle tool. I just think the skewer works better. It's got a nicer end for it. So I'm going to poke it through all the way, make sure it comes out the back side. And I got a nice hole in there. Okay. After that, I'm going to flip it over, and you're going to scratch your initials in it small. Okay. So I'm SD. I'm going to put SD in there really small. This helps me know which lightning bolt belongs to which person. So this is why the skewer or dowel, whatever I called it, will really come in handy because it writes really well and it pokes that hole really well. Every single micro must have a hole and must have your initials on the back so that I can get it back to you. Okay, I'm going to set that to the side, or if we were in class time, I would say go put it on this tray. When they're done, you put them on a tray so that I can dry them out and then cook them. Okay, 4 simple shapes. Let's go with a rectangle. This one fits perfectly, so I'm going to put it right in the middle, cut it out, take those pieces off. Got my pieces. They're not usable again. Put some water in them, squish them back up. Add them. You know what? I'm just going to add them to this clay too. Okay. Pop that out. Take my skewer. I'm going to go ahead and make my hole at the top. Now you got to think about where the hole should be, is where it's going to hang from. Okay. So I put it at the top so that it can hang nice and easy like that. And then maybe this is part of like the Harry Potter one that I was doing. And I wanted to make my wand. So I'm just scratching into the surface and drawing. Okay. And then I'm going to make like little sparks coming out of it. Simple little drawing. There's my micro. One more thing I got to add. Flip it over. Put my initials in it. Every time, friends. Every time. Sorry, it should be SC, not SD. D is my middle initial. It's fine. Okay. If you want, oh, also, if you guys know you have initials that are similar to somebody else's, then put your middle initial in there too. Okay. All right. SC, that's me. Okay, and then I would obviously need up to 4. You have to have 4. Once I've got 4, I can put them on the tray, and then any extra clay you squish up, and then you're going to cube. So you remember that you tap it 50 times, at least 50 times. If you need to do it more, do it more. Okay, so I could reuse this clay towards more micros if you have this clay already. So if you have a bunch of extra, you squish it up with some water and it's nice and ready to go, roll it back out. That's fine. If you don't have any extra, you don't have enough extra, come and get another cube from me. Okay? We'll have an area where you have extra clay access, and you're going to need these things. You're going to need these pieces of wood. So this is the thickness that we're rolling our clay to, and that's the thickness I rolled all of the slabs of clay to. So that's what you guys also need to do. So you lay your wooden pieces down for your thickness on your mat. Always remember to lay everything for clay on your mat. If you roll on that table, it's going to stick to my table, and your project's going to be, you're going to have to like mess it up and ruin it because it will be so stuck to the table. Okay, I understand the cube's hard to roll from. So if you want to, press it down a little bit with your hands, or kind of, if you throw it on the table a couple of times like this, it should flatten it out. Obviously, the table's not going to be as noisy. But, okay, so then I'm going to start rolling. So you take your hands evenly across. You need to make sure you're standing when you do this, and you're going to roll. Now, also, you need to make sure that the rolling pin is over the pieces of wood. This is super important. If you don't have them over the pieces of wood, it's not going to roll the correct thickness. It's going to roll it thinner than that. So I'm going to roll back and forth until it presses down to where the pieces of wood are. And then it shouldn't let you press anymore. So then you're just rolling your own little slab of clay. I would add some water to that if I were you. Also, after you're done rolling it, because I stretched it and I spread it out and it's starting to crack just a little bit. But you guys can use the rib tool as well. Spray some water on it. You guys got the spray bottles. That's fine. Or you can take the cup of water. And then I would do the lamination. Lamination is going to help strengthen it, make it flexible, so it won't crack and break on you. Okay, so one direction, then the other. Might also help you find any air bubbles. If you find an air bubble in there, you don't want it in there. But when you were doing your, cubing, it should have taken it out. If you do have an air bubble, all you have to do, let's say there's one kind of right here, kind of poke it, put a little water there, and glide that across until it's gone. Okay. All right, then I can obviously just cut out of this with my cookie cutters. And I probably could fit 2 clouds on here.